All righty, everybody, you're in for a wild episode today. If things continue the way they've been going, good Lord. Welcome to the War Room and our special guest today, Dave from Dave's Gaming Cave. Dave, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on. We've been trying to get you get our schedule organized and get you on the channel. So glad you could have you. And by the way, I would have to say we should be up for the award for the most best looking bald guy group that war games out there. Because I felt like the oddball, I decided to go ahead and cut it all off today, and it's going to be a wild episode, I'll tell you that, folks. Boy, oh boy. But anyways, thanks, Dave, for coming on. We do appreciate it. We've got a lot to talk about with Dave, but Ruff, you're under the weather today. What's up with that?
Oh, last 3 days. Anybody from my part of the world will know when I say I've had the lurgy. I've had the lurgy for the 3 days. You know, a really bad cold. I had to take I've had to take a sleep this afternoon so I could come on. But yeah, so I haven't done any videoing because I'm talking a bit like I sound like one of the Cray twins. So I've not done much in the way of that, but lots of editing. So I've got a video at least coming up next week. But apart from that, we had the old Dubry out and enjoying that. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Over to you, Tony.
Oh, hi everybody! Hi everybody in chat. How's it going, Dave? Glad to have you on. You know, if you've watched the show, you know we're all about the fun. So this is not a serious show, and we're all about having fun. And we just listen to Ruff and just smile and go along with what he says. And
They patronize me. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So I got on the live chat. I did a live chat yesterday just because I hadn't put anything out for about a week because I've been working on the ATSFE stuff.
I'll tell you what. Sorry, Tony. I'll tell you what. Those are the way to go. You've got over 150 odd views on that.
Yeah.
And we should just do live chats. Ardy's got it sorted, isn't he?
Yeah. He has 2 of them a week, and you know,
tons of views. I think we should sod this. This is too much like hard work and just talk.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Hey, I wish they would have a show where like maybe 3 guys would talk about war games and would have guests, you know, about once a week. That would be a great idea to have.
Yeah, really. Like, why would we want that?
No, that's no fun. We'll just talk about nonsense. Oh no, that's what we do anyway. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Wait a second. So I'm glad everybody could make it. Dave, I'm glad you're here. And I put the link for Dave's channel at the top of the chat. So if you want to go ahead and make sure you subscribe, Dave needs more subscribers. I can't believe he has as few as he's got. So let's make sure we get subscribes. Dave does a great job with his videos.
Fire, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and he's promoting Matt White a little bit, who we had on last week. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was very appropriate. I don't know if you planned it that way, but we're going to let you believe that you planned it that way.
I think we did, because you knew what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'll get you back.
So a lot of solo stuff. All solo stuff, obviously, that he's got so far. So, and that'll lead to a question that I'm going to hold on for a little bit later because we're just going to go with that. So,
sorry, Tony. What have you been up to this week, sports wise?
So, oh God, what have I been up to sports wise? Yeah. I have football practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
My sons had a game today at noon, and they won 3-1. So it was our first win. So that was good. My daughter has a game tomorrow at noon, and my sons have a game at 2:15. So I will be on the football pitch. I'll be on the pitch. I'll be on the pitch for the foreseeable future, all the way through October. So, but yeah, it's been good. You've been waiting. You wanted me to call it soccer so bad, didn't you?
Yeah.
You've had that ready. You've been ready for that one.
I've been ready. Yeah.
Well, my question is, what is Ruff going to do tomorrow when the football is actually called football over there tomorrow?
Ooh, yeah.
What's happening?
You have an NFL game scheduled there in England tomorrow between
Are
the
they
New
playing
York
rugby?
Jets
They're
and the
playing American rugby.
Atlanta Falcons, and it's football in Britain.
I think they're putting big lines on Wembley Stadium too.
Oh, God, blimey. God, that's American rugby.
Anyways, Dave has not yet to
Dave.
say anything. So, hey, Dave, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Tell us
So-
about your channel. What
Yeah.
do you like to do? What have you been up to? Get a word
Sure.
in here, because with Ruff and Tony, Ruff's on medicine. Tony talks all the time. You're gonna have to just jump in when you can.
Sure. So I started the channel back in probably January, February this year, but for a couple years before that, I kind of migrated back to the solitaire board gaming. So growing up, in the 60s and 70s, long before computers and that, we had board games, and that's what we played. I started with games like Dogfight and Hit the Beach for Milton Bradley and those kind of games. And then my first board war game my dad bought us was Blitzkrieg from Avalon Hill. So I think it was published in like 65 or something. I must have been 8 or 9 when we started playing that. And because I always remember Dad saying, you got to read the rules before you can play. And I was like, really? I got to read these rules? He's not going to teach us the game. You got to read the rules. So we did that, but that started my wargaming life a little bit. And then my dad and I always played, even as I got into high school, we played things like Luftwaffe and Richthofen's War. We did a lot of those types of games. But, then you move away from home, you get your own family going, and you don't have a person to play with. So I migrated into, when computers came along, it gave you that artificial intelligence that you could play with. So I'd been doing that for a long time, but probably around 2015 or so, I started back into that board gaming world a little bit. And like I was telling you guys earlier, the first one I just did a Google search and found DVG's Phantom Leader, and that's for my ear a little bit with the Phantoms. And I used to watch them come into the gunnery range and target practice and things like that while I was in the military. So that's the one I first started. I really liked that game, and I thought, man, I'm into something now. And then I started Warfighter and moved on from there with several other games. So what I ran into, though, the reason the thing that I got onto was, I wasn't a big YouTube guy, but my wife was starting to, and I went out on there and I did a search for Warfighter World War II. I found Ruff, I found some others, and watched their playthroughs, and it answered questions for me. And that was huge for me. And then I got to watching. I subscribed. I started watching. I got onto some other channels. I started watching other people play. And last year or the year before, I was telling my wife, I ought to do this. I can do this too. And so when we moved, I got a nice man cave already made for me here in my new house, and it's set up well, and bought a camera and just jumped into it. But the thing I'm trying to do with my channel is to provide playthroughs that I'm not perfect. I make errors, but I.
So you're Ruff Junior then. Go ahead.
Yeah, a little bit. But I like, I don't mind somebody telling me that I did something wrong. In fact, that helps. I try to go back, and like with Fields of Fire, I made so many mistakes in the first 4 turns. I felt bad about it that I started all over and did a redo and said, okay, let's do this again and see if we can cut down the errors. And who knows, maybe my dice luck will change too, but I don't think it really did that much.
You got to get Yeah, you got to get some of these gravity dice.
Here he goes again, promoting those $50 gravity dice. It's just him. He's just got like a bad aura around
Hey,
it.
cards are good for me, so I'm gonna stick with games that have lots of cards in them, and I think I'll be okay. So.
So I didn't, while I was doing this, I found out about, from watching people, Board Game Geek. I never knew about that. So I got into that. I found out, there's a ton of information there about games. There's files that help you. There's questions and forums and all that stuff. And then I also heard about Kickstarter, and I was like, oh, what's that? So I started doing some Kickstarters, and one of the ones I was most excited about was Zero Leader from DBG. And that helped my channel, I think, more than anything this past year, was when Zero Leader came out. I think I was one of the first people to start posting on it, because the Kickstarter, I was one of the first ones to get it. And I had all the expansions with it. So when I did the open the box and I started getting views on that, and then the playthroughs, and I had guys on my channel saying, man, I can't wait for you to do the next one. We're at work waiting for your next one on break to watch the next view. But then I think it's Chuck Siegert that was the developer.
Yep.
I happened to answer a question on Board Game Geek. Somebody asked a question, and I just happened to be on there. And I think the guy asked the question, and I was on there, and I answered it like 5 minutes later. And Chuck came on there, and he went, wow, I can't answer that any better than you did. He ended up subscribing to me, and then he asked me to do some certain playthroughs on that game. And he actually made a comment to me that said, it's like you sat behind me when I designed this game. So it was the best comment that I could get from a game designer, that I was actually able to put through his, play the game the way he designed it. And so that helped my channel a lot. I get a lot there. Thanks,
you got a really nice channel. You got a lot of nice videos. It seems like you go through step by step, play through the whole scenario or mission or whatever, and so that's really good. The one question I have about your website: how come you're not advertising your wife's website? Here, where's the link to your wife's stuff?
Yeah, I guess.
She's advertising you tonight.
She'll fix me now.
Hopefully she's not listening anymore, because we hate to call you out in front of her and everything.
Oh,
come on now. Your wife's got a channel, really nice channel. You should be supporting it. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, she's laughing out loud.
Yeah, baby. You got to be prepared when you come on her show. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, at least Ruff didn't seek his his information hounds so far.
Well, I did a little bit of scratching, and I found out, and I thought that's enough, and doing a good thing, don't want to drop him in it too much.
Throwing them under the bus. That's what we do, I guess. That is what we do. That is
things I found out, Stig, I could have done, but no.
Yeah.
Well, I know that when I told her, I said, hey, I got an email from Tony, and I said, they're talking about having me on their show, and she said, oh, that's great. And then she subscribed to Ruff, and then she subscribed to ID Jester today. So she's making sure. So she's making the rounds here, getting subscribed. So.
Right. Well, if she, a link to her channel so we can give her some love as well.
It's the Ann Lynn Show.
It's actually that title, yeah.
Yes.
So copy that and paste it into YouTube. You'll get it, I suspect.
Yep.
Well, there it is. Let's show. Oh my gosh, look at this. She's gonna. Oh boy, I don't know if we want to even show this.
She's got tons of subscribers.
She's got like an official logo and everything.
Yeah.
She got proper.
Wow, that is super nice.
Yeah, she's done quite a job. If you went back,
Granny rap.
Oh yeah,
Granny kisses.
That's my wife on the left, and that's her sister there on the right.
They look like your daughters. What are you talking about?
We only want to put a smile upon your face. You can trust us. We are a safe place. My name is Lynn, and I am Ann. We are a couple of Midwest friends.
Yeah, great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Everyone subscribe to their channel. They look like fun. They look like we should have them on the show.
There you go. There you go. They love that.
Oh, here he goes again, Tony. Oh, let's get rid of a couple of people, then we can have the girls on. Yeah, you know what he's trying to say. Don't you?
Got to increase the viewers some way or another.
I know.
I want to see your rap intro, Dave, coming up.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot to live up to now.
I think
Yeah.
I think our rap intros would have a C on the front of it.
Yeah, probably won't get a rap out of me.
So you played a lot of different games this year. You're a busy guy.
Yep.
What's your favorite game you played this year so far?
I spent a lot of time with Combat from Compass Games.
What do you think about that? What's the replayability? Because it's a really expensive game over here anyway. What's the replayability like?
The replayability is there because you do blind draws of everything. So even though the missions, you know what the mission is, you still do the blind draw, and you don't know because they have the dummies in there. You don't know which one you're attacking till you start to reveal them. And I have 2 game tables set up so that when I get one game like Fields of Fire going and I want to film something else, I can film on a different table and I can keep playing on another one.
I want to do, yes. And we're only got the one at the moment. When I get my room upstairs, I'll have another table. Yeah.
See, I'm blaming Dave for the reason why I bought Combat.
Oh, right. The reason I asked is Dad versus Son is doing a big playthrough of it as well. And somebody asked him, what's the replayability?
Gimpy's doing it.
You know, blah, 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 blah. So that's why I ask you.
Yeah.
But you reckon it's good, yeah?
Yeah, I played that. My wife bought that for me. And, you know, I kept it on my table probably for 3 months. And I was constantly, after I got done with that first video with it, I was still playing I was moving right on through the other missions. So I just kept it going and I just kept playing it because I really found that one. I played Ambush back in the day.
It's up there somewhere.
Yeah, right. And it was funny because my son, he asked me if I still had it. And I shipped it to him, and he's working through Ambush now. He wanted he remembered we had a B-17 Queen of the Skies. So
have you tried Target for Tonight and Today? That's
Target for Today. I did a 1 video on it.
Yeah, it's that with Chrome on, isn't it? Oh yes, I watched it. You were going all sort of
Stuka Joe.
Film director.
A little bit like I did. I stole that, but it's such a hard game to video because it's all text driven, right? But man, that was like a ton of video or pictures, right? You got to take all these pictures, you got to put them together, then you got to do the voiceover. That was a ton of work just to do that 1 game turn.
That's why I've got both Target for Today and Tonight, and I'm thinking, would people be bored with me just throwing dice?
Right.
I'd be having a great time. But and
having a way to present the tables, it's a difficult way to video a game.
It's a lot of work. You have to keep cutting away and doing.
I think that would fit Stuka Joe's method. So he did a video a while back where you do the record for like 10 seconds and explain it. I've done that, and there's a few games I think work really great with that. If you have a large counter density game, so like some of the games I'm playing, it's really hard to do. You have so many clips.
He did that B-17 thing that won an Academy Award, didn't it?
Yeah,
all the names and everything. That was brilliant. But that's a once in a life. That must have taken 10 years of his life. He's never going to get back. It was brilliant. But yeah,
he takes a train-in from what it sounds like, he takes a train into work every day, so he does all his editing on his phone.
Yeah, no, this is before he had that blooming app.
That's true.
This is ages. This is a while
Yeah,
ago.
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually used that app. I actually like it a lot. It's really easy to use. So
You know
I'm
what
just
I
used
like
to what I'm
about
using.
Dave's gaming cave? Look at Dave's gaming cave. Look how nice and neat and organized it is.
What are you saying?
That is awesome.
Yeah, I got a message from I forget which game I was in. May have been B-17 leader, but I got a message from one of the guys watching my channel and goes, "Can you please organize your playlists?" I was like, "What?" So I went in there and I had no idea you could sort these things and get them in chronological order. Now I know how to do it, but I did. I went through and I cleaned the one up that he was watching, and then I cleaned them all up while I was doing it. So now I keep them that way.
You've got to put playlists in, and also you've got to put them in order. Some people do playlists, and you click on it, and it's all over the place.
Exactly.
You've got to put them in.
Right.
Part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah, it does make
it's
that's what I look for when I go on
the four of us, because we're all basically YouTubers, right? So we all kind of have the same general process we use and what we got to go through and stuff. So it's interesting when we talk about things how similar his stories are with Rough stories and Tony's stories. So that's cool.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. I a lot of times I might shoot 2 or 3 videos at a time. I try to keep them. I like to keep them less than an hour. I notice that the views go a lot higher when they're shorter. But in some games, you just get like Fleet Commander Nimitz. There was no way to get them turns down.
Don't be put off by making them longer and your views per whatever it is go down when they're longer. Because what do people do? They watch 10 minutes, go and do something. Come back and watch in the evening another 10 minutes.
Right.
So they're watching the whole video, but they're not watching it in one go, which is what this analytic is talking about. So don't worry too much. Don't make them 17 hours, but
No. But I like, like when I shot Until the Bitter End this morning, when I looked down at my camera and I was already up to 23 minutes or 20 on turn 1. So, I thought, shoot, I'll just flip through this thing and run all 6 turns. I was like, no, let's break it into turns. They can watch the turn and they can watch the next one. And
also, you've got to edit it.
That's right.
Editing 30 minutes is not the same as editing an hour and a half.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right. So you like Combat is your best game that you've played so far?
I think Combat for this year, Combat 2's coming out. I got the Compass Games calendar, their catalog that they put out at Christmas time. It came out this week. And I see that Bill Thomas went through there and he put projected time frames for when his games are releasing. So I see Combat 2's releasing. It looks like maybe January. It's very early 2022. So I think it may be in January. I think he has that one in his warehouse already. So,
See, Tony, just chat. Yeah, everybody loves it. Dennis loves it. I'm just going to sit and talk and go, what should we talk about? I'm just going to, look.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I don't even know why I hang around with you guys. I could just go do my own thing and get more views.
I have problems doing it. Last time I did a live stream, I had a 1990s sort of loving thing. I don't know why. The others were fine, but people like live stream chats, what they call them, clipping or whatever, just chewing the fat. That's mine, by the way. Don't nick it. They just love them, don't they? I say, look at Ardy, look at you last night. You got loads of views, just talking, just chatting and saying what you're doing. And we'll talk about what you said on that later, maybe, and if it applies to us all.
See, I think so, but it sounds like Dave, not so much. Like there's a lot more video. He does a lot more outside of just videoing. Like it seems like he plays his games on, outside of videoing as well.
I ain't got time.
Yeah, I mean, I played, a lot of times when I set up I'm going to do the one video of the mission to help people understand how to play the game. But I'm still playing the rest of the game a lot of times. So, you know,
Do you play a game without videoing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, videoing makes it tougher. I didn't realize that, but you know, your mind's trying to make sure you're not making a mistake. And and you do, and you're trying to explain what you're doing, and it slows the game down quite a bit, you know.
That was one thing I found for sure is when you're videoing, the games take twice, if not three times longer.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have what I do is if I review the video and I say, oh my God, look at that, made a real. I have to put a little thing in saying,
right.
Yeah, no, I know I've done this wrong. So so it takes an absolute age, and I don't get time to play games. I'd love to. I think we've had this discussion before. YouTubers, especially in my case, I don't get any time to sort of go, right, I'm just going to play a game just for the fun of it. Because you don't get time. And if you don't make a video, he moans at you.
Right.
That's what I do. If I don't put the pressure on you to do it, you don't do it. So I got to put the pressure on you.
But I think
Heathwell's got a good comment there. More rules and mistakes are done when recording. It seems so true.
It is true. It is true. But I think most people are very forgiving, and they realize that, you know, if you can do better, do it yourself. They're very forgiving. And all they want to see is you maybe having fun and playing a game they haven't seen and thinking, that looks interesting. Or, no, I don't think that's for me, but he's having fun with it, but no, it's not for me. That's why I do it. So I don't review. I don't pick it to pieces. I just play it with all its mistakes. And generally speaking, if I make a mistake, people are gentle. You know, hey, Ruff, and they go, yeah, thanks. And I mention it in the next video. And that's what it's all about. You're progressing through the game and learning yourself, and the people that have taken the time to watch your video, they're learning little things as well. So that's great, you know.
And sometimes, like I actually had a couple things. One, in B-17 leader, the guy asked me why my P-38s, I turned them around and for their range. And I actually had the card sitting up here, and I picked it up and I went, yeah, I'm looking at the card. It's got a range of 4 on it. You've got to turn around. And he goes, no, I'm looking at mine. It's got a range of 6. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So I went and looked, and it's a time difference. There's the early P-38 that's got the range of 4, and there's the later P-38 that's got the range of 6. And I just happened to look and see mine. And you get those discussions. I'm like, hey, we both win on that one. Or you get, you know, an interpretation of the rules. I had a guy say, I think it was in my interceptor race game, he interpreted the rule one way. I said, well, here's why I interpreted it this way. And he went, oh, I hadn't thought of that. You know, we had a little back and forth a couple times. And I think it's great that you get to have that conversation with another gamer on how you interpret a rule sometimes, because, you know, it helps you understand, you know, different views of how you do things.
Because you might actually be right for once.
Right.
And that's great. But if you're not, that's great because you've learned. And B-17, I must get that. That's such a huge game.
It's a blast.
Have you got Stuka's cards for it?
For B-17 leader?
Yeah.
No, I had them for the RAF game though.
Yeah, he's got them. He's got them for that as well. Just do the out. Yeah, brilliant. Get them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got to get that out. But you played it. It's a huge game. Yeah, it would take a lot of videos. What's the chap that does? What's the chap that does it? He does it all computer graphics, and it looks
Poindexter.
Wonderful. Poindexter, wonderful.
Oh yeah, his great.
That's the way to do it. You know,
too much effort. I'm
but that's what he does.
I'm that C student when it comes to videoing. I don't want that.
I'm not in the same league as Poindexter or Stuka, but I do the best I can with my editing software to make it as pleasurable for people and for me to be happy with it. So, but I'm nowhere up there. But yeah, that must take Stuka and
geez, in
everybody.
the
Yeah,
house.
they must take an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah, we got a new subscriber
Great.
there.
Thanks,
there you
Steve.
go.
Hey,
Well done.
no enemies here. How you doing?
Hey, Dan.
Hello, I don't like the sound of that. Gentleman Rough, what's he going on about? Hi, Dan, hope you're well.
Wait a minute. Dan will apologize. He's Canadian, so he'll apologize soon enough.
Yeah. No, I'm British. No English. He won't. No.
No, yeah, okay, yeah, he will, yeah.
Hey,
So
making
now,
mistakes. Oh, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Jester.
I was just gonna say, making mistakes is just part of the learning curve. You know,
Yep.
we made a bunch of mistakes when we were running our Fields of Fire with tweezers and rough.
That was a blast.
But I mean, you know, we learned, and we just, you know, next session we just tried to fix what we could fix and moved on. And you know, it's the only way you're going to learn is to play a couple times to get through the process.
It was a blast. Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you like my Alexander? Eat your heart out. Yeah.
You're Alex, and I'm Grant.
Yeah.
No enemies where. Well, you got to excuse him. He lives up in Montreal, so I believe. So what's your sweet spot, Dave, on gaming? Do you like tactical games? Do you like operational games? Do you like strategy games?
I think I probably tend to go towards the tactical games more.
Yeah. Looking at your channel,
I like strategy games too, but I think I lead more towards the tactical game.
Do you like the narrative about? Is it kind of the narrative that you like about the tech? Because that's the one thing I find is like when I'm filming, if it's a tactical game, I can have more of a story. You know, like when it's squad level, whatever,
Right.
or like an individual. Then when I'm doing like, it's a whole division. It's just that attachment's not there as much.
Yeah, when you get into like Warfighter and you've got characters, right?
Yeah.
You got these 4 or 5 guys that are your guys, and it comes. I loved it when Ruff, when I started watching him, because he would roll the dice and then I'd hear cranky. And I knew it was a bad dice roll, right?
He used to say that all the time. I think because we made fun of him so much.
I still say it. I say good grief or oh dear. I say all very British things. And thank you. I love you for that, Dave. That was my very first YouTube video.
Yeah.
Warfighter, yeah.
Well,
Dan is asking, has anybody played combat? Well,
Look at his channel,
talk
Dan.
about combat
Look at
for an
his channel.
hour. Where you been?
Take me out. But I know that during the gameplays I get, you know, I'm into that game. Even if I'm filming it, I'm still into the game. And I've had those comments from some people that say, man, I like watching you because you're relaxed and it's fun to watch you. Because I know when I played B-17 leader, it came down to the last dice roll before I got where I won that game. And when I had to roll a 10. And when I got 10 on that dice roll, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it is. And that's what people say about what I do, my malarkey. You know, they say, you're having fun. And when you throw that dice, you know, you punch the air.
Yes.
But I get that narrative, even though I'm playing more games now, more sort of bigger with armies and divisions and things, like, you know, across the Boog River. I'm still thinking, oh, crying, you know, it is still very narrative.
It is.
So, you know, I think people just want to watch something. If they know the game, they think, oh, somebody's playing a game I like. They watch, see how you do, and they go, oh, he's having fun. I like that.
Yep.
Or they're thinking, oh, I think they're getting this. Let's have a look. And they look around, they watch different videos, and they go, yeah, he's having fun with that. Oh no, he didn't seem to be doing so well. And they make the decision, and that's all I'm there for. Is for me, basically, I'm just.
And just because you don't win the game, just because you don't win the game doesn't mean you didn't have fun playing.
No.
You know,
and I think
you're going to lose a game if you win every game. There's something wrong with that game.
Wrong. You're dodgy. And,
yeah, you didn't follow a rule right generally.
no.
Because somebody, I was on Facebook and I was reading somebody had won Rommel. I hate bringing it up, but they had won Rommel like twice in a row. That our scenario that is very hard.
Are you talking about the game that must never speak its name?
Yes. that game. And somebody's like, if you won, you did something wrong. They're like, I played it 20 times and have never won it.
If you won
that scenario is just hard.
Were on your side.
Yeah. Well, he said there was a few things that kind of raised a few questions about it. Like, he's like, oh, I had 20 supplies. I'm like, they're like, how did you get 20 supplies?
Nobody wins that the first time they play it. Good grief. Get out of it. Get out of here.
I didn't even get out of Germany.
Yeah, I got out of Germany. I didn't get to France. But anyway, Dennis asks a question. Maybe you guys can answer that.
Oh, should we stop our conversation to answer this question, Ralph?
Yeah, that's
okay.
yeah. People come taking their time off to come and watch us.
Does anyone find it hard to get a game to the table when the rules seem too hard to follow? Hell yes.
Yes.
Simple answer. Hell yes.
Fields of Fire right off the bat.
Didn't happen to me. I thought, let's just have a move about, and I probably played it wrong, but I did enjoy myself. So no, no, rules do not put me off. I'll just push things about and keep at it if I want to. Yeah, no.
So here's what I do. If I order a game, I start watching the channels on that game.
Of course.
I've got half the rules memorized before the game ever arrives. If it's not a brand new game that hasn't been out yet, if it's an older game, I watch them. I watch as much of it as I can before it ever gets there. Then when I'm going into the rules, I've already got a grasp of the game.
When you read the rule
get
book,
it there quicker.
Yeah, when you read the rule book, you think, oh yeah, remember that.
Yeah, I'm such a visual learner that a lot of times I can't put, like, if I just read the rules, I can't do it. I can't. It doesn't.
Oh God, no,
it doesn't click.
Yeah.
So I'm a teacher, so I understand how I learn. So a lot of times, if it's a newer game or a game that doesn't have very, very, very many videos, it's so hard for me to actually learn it because I have so much trouble taking it from written word into, right to the table. Now, a lot of times what I guess got to do is get it set up and just start pushing it through and things start making sense.
Yeah.
We all learn differently. With me, if it's a new game, I'll watch videos.
Right.
And then I'll get the rules, and then they're not frightening anymore because you go, oh yeah, remember that. That's how I learn. A good case in point is Next War. I've watched so many videos. I think I'll just set up and go for it. Standard.
Yeah, standard. Yeah.
Talking of which, hold on, I know I'm hogging it, but look what I got.
Oh, did you get you got the supplement?
Yeah. They've got this hybrid air war thing, which Dad versus Son did, and the Polish chap has done, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. And of course,
oh, you got both supplements, yeah.
Because what you were talking about last night was a game that you want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was Great Battles of the American Civil War.
Yeah.
And mine, I think, might be Next War. But we'll have a chat about that later. But yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could play that, I think, by just setting up a map and playing it through the amount of people doing it, like the Polish channel whose name I can't remember, Dad versus Son. You get bits, and it's.
Yeah.
And I've read the rules, and I think I'm ready. So that's what I hope to do.
I think if you look back at like Ambush and the rules for Ambush, and it's, I don't know, 80 pages of text, right? With one or two drawings in there or something.
Oh,
and
my goodness. Is it?
And then you come to a game that's put out today, and you put out a game that's put out today, they're so much easier to read today. Even if the rules aren't exactly written perfect, they're still easier to follow and find things.
I'll tell you what, there is an exception to that. The guy I've, and it's nothing weird. I've just fallen in love with him. Jeremy White, the guy writes rules for me. He says, you don't need to read the rules, just read this page and then play the game. And as he goes through it with the sequence of play, he says, right, read this page. And you do it, and you say, now do this.
Right.
And then he goes, right, after you've done that, read this. So, you're actually reading the rules, but you're reading it in such a way that you're playing the game at the same time.
Right.
So
They did the same thing with they did the same thing with Devil Boats.
Yeah.
When you play that game, you play it, and you kind of it steers you to the next rule.
Is that the one that
Yes.
somebody did rather badly?
Yes.
And then when he dissed it, he got about 1,000 subscribers. I must do that. I must diss something. Right. But yeah, I mean, I've looked at that. And he basically what he was saying was it's just a bloody dice throwing. But aren't all solitaire? A lot of solitaire games are dice throwing,
right?
Because you're looking up on charts. You've got nobody to play against. I can't understand that. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But yeah, I was looking at that.
I mean, you guys, you asked me, when I played Target for today, I'm trying to get 25 missions with my crew to survive, right? And I get involved with those guys, and as soon as I was into the 7th or 8th mission, and then the bomber exploded. And that was it. So,
it's like the hunters. When you get into the hunters, it's like you never know when that game's going to end.
Exactly.
And yeah, definitely. Now I'm going to ask you, Dave. So you do all solitaire games, and have you? I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Have you tried to play, or do you even want to play like two-handed, like war games that are like for 2 players, but you play both sides?
Not idiots like me.
I do it too, Rough.
I haven't gone that direction yet.
Okay.
Like I said, growing up, my dad and I played Squad Leader, some of those, and those types of games. Like I said, with the rules, with all the text, but the first scenario taught you this set of rules. The next one taught you the next set. The next one, they added armor. They kept adding things. So that's how you kind of progress through the game and learning the rules as you went along. But I haven't gone to play a 2-player game where I got to play both sides.
I tell you what, and this is just my feelings on it, it's easier to video a 2-player game playing it both sides than actually playing it on your own both sides, because you're acting out both parts for the camera.
Right.
I find it easier to do that, and you do it without any bias, even though you know what you're going to do. But it's easier videoing it because you can perform and play it, so I'd give it a go. London, that's about half an hour from me. The Major.
That's some people love that, and some people hate that.
Yeah, I know you don't.
On the other end, I'm on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. I can't play a two-player game solo. I just can't do it. I've tried. I just can't do it.
We don't love you any less for that.
I know.
But it's just, that's what's so fascinating about this hobby.
I should say
big spectrum.
2-player tactical, at least tactical level games. Maybe more zoomed out. It's a little easier because you're not dealing with individual units. You're dealing with grand strategy. So that's a little bit easier than. But I love tactical games most. So that's the hardest part is not being able to. I've tried. I just can't get over it because I'm like, I'm going to move these guys up, and I know I'm moving these guys up so that you shoot, and that way I can move my good guys over there, and you won't be able to shoot them, and I just can't go over that. So,
but I say this in my videos. I say, look, if I move these, the Germans are going to just go and do that, but they might not. Of course, they are, but you're adding a bit of tension, and then when you do that. And then when the Germans go, right, we're having you, they throw really crappy, and it doesn't work out. So there is that to it,
Yeah.
No, I haven't played Legion of Honor.
Legion of Honor, yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Gronard. Hey, we need to get this guy on. He seems pretty smart. agrees with me.
The reason is,
two-player
it's
tactical
like me,
games are much less
miserable,
fun.
crumbling.
I guess, yeah, that's the part. It takes the fun out of it for me. So it's more work than it is enjoyment, I guess.
I don't mind in a solitaire game, like until the bitter end, where in your solitaire rules, he gives you a progression to go down that says, you look for this to see which next the enemy gets activated, and then after that, there's a progression of what he's going to do, a priority, right? So priority 1, he's going to fire his weapon. Priority 2, he's going to charge. I don't mind looking at that and then interpreting a little bit or putting my spin on it that says, for me, this makes sense that he would fire at this guy and not this one. So, I mean, I don't mind making those calls, right? Yeah. Even though it's going against what I want him to do. Or if it's really at a point where it doesn't matter, I just use the dice to make the random selection for me.
But that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, playing a solo game, you play a solo or solitaire game. When you play a two-handed game solo, it's what's he going on about?
His play test of Mr. President. We were play testing last night. He was telling me about this. He's almost lost the game. Basically, kicked out of office in his first year. Less than his first year.
I'm not surprised. Would you trust a man with that face?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, what I was saying was that when I play a two-handed game solo, I get an enjoyment out of it because, I'm still playing it, but it's a completely different enjoyment when I do play it with other people. And I've had the pleasure of playing. I was going to say, had the pleasure of playing with these guys and Tweez, and it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Which are separate. So when I play a two-handed game solo, I play it that way and I get great enjoyment. When I play with the guys, it's great enjoyment and it's different. So that's the thing. You get two shots at it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm right now with the ATS, I'm working on the robot. So it's like a solo assistant. So it's a solo bot. And I'm actually really enjoying playing that way. Because I don't always know. There's just enough not quite knowing whether they're going to attack or not, whether they're going to fire opportunity fire or not. So it's really kind of interesting. Like, I don't mind playing stuff solo. And I actually, a lot of times I learn the games that way. But I'm starting to see like an idea of having some sort of adversary or at least something else to play sometimes. So I think getting into the World at War 85 and Nation at War, I think I'm not as nervous about the solo bot as I would be because it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I love bots. I love them. People don't like Nations at War.
He loves them, everybody. Cheers.
Oh, sorry. Cheers. Solo bots, I do love. And for Nations at War and World at War 85, I think they're brilliant because you've got something to play against, but you do have that leeway where you go, no, that even though they're Soviets, they're not that stupid, for goodness sake. So, you've got that leeway where you think, no, I'll leave that one and move down to the next one. But I love bots, but I also love, playing because you like battles of the American Revolution, Tony, and you play it two-handed. And it's great fun.
Yeah, that one's
even though you know
pretty,
what you're doing, you go, hey, he's going to charge. Oh, I bet he's going to charge. Oh, he's charging. Right, we're bringing them round. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love bots, though. If it's got a bot, it takes a little bit of that off. Play them solo. Yeah, play them solo.
I see. So now I'm playing ATS solo, but last night me and Mitch finished off. I got my asses handed to me, but we finished off one of our Kharkov scenarios, and
don't swear at me.
My arse. I got my arse blown off.
No, Kharkov.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a different thing than when I'm playing solo on this, where again I'm getting my arse handed to me by a freaking robot.
So
That means it's good. Yeah.
in the last 2 weeks, you lost to Mitch.
Yeah.
You lost to a bot.
I'm
And
losing.
you lost to your daughter.
Yeah.
Next week, you're off the show.
Okay.
Oh my God!
I have to take a week off. I'm sorry. I'm suspended for a week for losing.
One of the things I like to do, if especially with the DVG games, is I even randomize what I'm going to use. Right. So in other words, the pilots or the planes.
Yes.
I think you can stack the deck too much when you're drawing and going through and selecting.
I don't like that. In Corsair Leader, I don't like, he's good, he's good, he's good.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's got it for the other, it hasn't got it for Israeli Air Force Leader, which I love that. And, but for Corsair Leader, some guys picked out a randomizer. So you pick the mission, pick what you're going to do, you click on it, and it says, this is what you got, and you go, no.
Yeah.
And that's what you get. And that's what I love, because you might get some really rookie stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky. And that's what I love. Yeah.
I even did
is, if you get the right edition, you get the backs of the cards, and you know whether or not it's an expansion card or if it's one of the core cards in it. So that will really help you too.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I do like mid-DV. I've got no problem because I haven't got Sherman Leader. I haven't got this. I've got there's my collection of DVG games, and I love them all.
Yeah,
because they're great. That's how I got into it. Yeah, and now I'm playing Hex Encounter. Now I'm playing solo 2-player games because of these things. So
here's the fun thing about playing solo is, since I'm so horrible at dice, and even my daughter ragged on me about bad dice rolling. When I play solo, I roll bad for both sides. so usually it's bad or good on both sides, so I don't have to worry about feeling bad about that. So, but yeah. No, I've got these. I know,
$50. Does the ref know?
Hey, Lootman's up.
Hey,
Lootman.
Mr. Herman. God bless you, sir.
God bless the Queen.
But to that point, Tony, I would say the same thing, where you're rolling for both of them, but in combat, I seem to roll for the Germans better than I did for myself. I'm like, there's no way they're going to get a 1 or a 2 on this, right? Every time they get it.
Vassal dice. I don't know who invented Vassal dice, but I think it was somebody that is a little bit evil.
So Private Public actually made a comment. He was watching the ATS live stream me and Mitch did last night, and he actually was like, "Are those Vassal gravity dice?"
Yeah, I know. Were you rolling well? Were you rolling good?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
Mitch was rolling good.
Dave, would you play a tactical game like ATS, or my favourite is Lock and Load Tactical, or World at War 85, which is the platoon what if thing? Would you play one of those? They do have solo bots.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm pretty open to what
They're good games.
Playing. Yeah, it's just it's just what's available, and I grew up a lot playing sports games too. Back in,
don't start with the ball games.
Yeah, I grew up with back in the 80s. There was Status Pro, baseball, basketball, football, all those, and Status Pro.
You want to tell me? Oh, sorry, you're talking about something else. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So I grew up with those. I still do a lot of those with computer simulations where you need and then there's actually an internet group that's based there in England, and they do Gridiron. It's called Gridiron 3, and it's a subscription American football game.
What's going on there?
Yeah, and these guys have developed this game, and I have my brother actually is in the league with us, but we play. It takes a lot of. It's not just a roll the dice or anything. It's you gotta draft. We have a draft every season for our players and all that stuff. So I still do a lot of sports games on the other side too. So
there you go. He's a man under my heart. I'm actually
Move along. Yeah,
I'm actually shuffling my Fall Classic baseball cards as we speak here. So
leaves me cold.
And we're trying to get Herman back into the swing of making another baseball game because he was such a failure at it the first time. We need him to step it up and make a better one the next.
I thought that was quite a well-received game, Herman's.
No, I think it was rated as worst game ever. So, except for Plum Island Harp.
Dave, you're in the service, yeah?
yes,
Rifleman?
in the Army.
Rifleman?
I was 1976 to 1987. So I was right after Vietnam, and I was before all the stuff in the desert started happening. So
Doesn't matter. What were you?
I was 11 Bravo, so that's an infantry sergeant.
God bless you, sir. No, thank you for your service. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
Yep.
Let's
So
get
you're
on
so
that,
are you
Herman.
so are you retired now then?
Come on.
No, I didn't retire. I just got tired of it and got out.
Oh, okay.
You did your stuff and got out. Yeah.
So
Got out in one piece.
So
yeah.
games like it's funny. I have a son-in-law who's a wounded warrior from the Air Force, and he was in Afghanistan. But it's funny. My preference are air war games, right? And and that's what I like. His are armor battles. So the Air Force guy likes all the ground stuff, and the ground guy likes all the air stuff.
You see, I don't mind a bit of tanks, but I do like the air war, and I do like my naval.
Yeah.
That didn't come out right. I do like.
Whose naval do you like?
I do like the seabound shippy things. So yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to. I did the pre-order. It seems like a year and a half ago or something with Compass on Gregory Smith's game, Western Front Ace.
Oh, we've got the T-shirt.
Oh man, I'm waiting on that game, but I see on their catalog it's going to be late 2022 before it comes out.
And the thing is, I've got to wait for it to get over here and pay the little bit extra, but I really want it. And the other one is the tank one, which is like
American Tank Ace.
It's not Patton's Dewberry, but it's sort of.
He based it off of that though.
Yeah, but I like that people poo-poo that. I love it. Just rolling dice. I'd love it.
Yeah, his games again. They're easy to learn.
Yeah, but no, the Patton's.
Oh, Patton's best is a bear.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my
God!
Not everybody
does.
I'm out of drinks.
Hold on. Cheers.
Good Lord.
Look, one day I'm going to play it. I'm looking forward to those two. Greg's new ones. Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the Philippine Sea game, that solo game, which is supposed to be the carrier but in a different spot.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping because I've got carrier. Well, I've got carrier. Moody. I've got the map printed. I've got the counters printed. They're not the original counters. They're a sort of thingy counters. Got the rule book. I've got all the player aids.
Yeah.
But people are saying this game is a bit of a turkey shoot.
So Gareth is ex-Royal Navy, but likes his tank and infantry.
Go figure.
What is it? What do they say? Rock and roll people want to be athletes, and athletes want to be rock and roll stars.
That's
right. It's kind of the same way. The Navy wants to be the Army wants to be the Navy, and throw the Air Force in there, and
That's why I love this hobby. What's Iron and Oak, Mike?
It's Iron and Oak, actually.
Iron and Oak. It's a naval game. It's
is it?
It's like the ASL of ship combat.
It's like the sort of Great Sail things, is it?
the Greg Sal thing.
18th century stuff, is it?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
It's like Master and Commander type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to play wooden ships and Iron Men.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with that is, the only problem with that is you need to sort of map out what you're doing, and you can't do that. Oh, get Herman! Stop talking
Now,
about
Herman,
me.
that's my
go.
team. That's my team, Herman.
Stop
84
talking about-
Tigers.
Stop talking about rounders.
Right.
God.
Hey, sports games other than football, baseball, basketball, you can play both sides of that because all you're doing is setting your lineups, and then the game kind of plays a little
Was
bit.
itself, yeah.
Yeah.
Trust the Brits, trust an Englishman to come out with that. Thank you, Glenn.
Oh, okay. I got a question since we're kind of off. So, and Tweezer's is in here. So I was watching his Great Battles of American Civil War.
No, you're watching Al.
No,
Great.
I was watching his.
Oh, his playthrough.
Yeah,
Right,
his playthrough. Because I was kind of reviewing up the rules. His maps lay so flat, and I got to know how he keeps them so flat without plexi on them. And I'm kind of curious how he
for
did
an
that.
hour before he records, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know. It looked like they were cut, and then he just laid them flat. I don't know.
No, he sleep. See, our Brits, we sleep on them before we play them. Lay them out, get the pillow, and we lay on them gently, knowing that in the morning we'll be able to play it.
I don't know why that's so
cold
funny.
medicine is keep it in now.
I really don't know why that's so funny.
Because it's true.
Because we could actually see you doing that.
Yeah. Good night, dear. What are you doing? Just laying on my map here.
I gotta make it flat. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So what
Anyways.
what issue? So you just did Fields of Fire, and then you, after 4 episodes, you decided to restart it because you had
Right.
several issues.
Sorry, Dave. Brit humor. Brit
So
humor.
what
Yes,
issues
well.
did you find that you were having with the original Fields of Fire? Just for us people that might be jumping into it.
Well, you really have to pay attention to the sequence of play. That's one I wish Stuka would put out in the cards because you have got to pay attention to that sequence of play, and within the sequence of play, there are rules that you have to make sure you're referring to. There's an order of things that have to happen. What's interesting with Fields of Fire, I knew nothing of that game until I saw the designer on No Enemies Here doing
Ben Hall. Yeah, Ben Hall.
Ben Hall. And I watched that and I went, hey, that looks like a pretty interesting game. And I went out and I found a copy of it and I ordered it. And, I was watching it. So the thing that is for me, he was a lieutenant colonel in the military. And when I read his rules, it reminds me of being in the military. So,
Just to remember, okay, so I was in ROTC. So I was in a junior ROTC when I was growing up, and we had the same types of manuals. And they're like the paper, the heavier paper cover with the huge staples.
The field manuals, yeah.
Yeah, the field manuals, yeah.
But isn't that the problem? You knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. It helps.
And us, we'll read the go, blimey. So doing research and looking into it that I'm playing it and doing this and watching videos. But yeah, people in the military go, oh, I get what he's talking about.
Yeah. When I see phase lines and departure point, those are the exact same things we did.
Things like, here's a platoon and we need. Oh no, I better send the assault team in because
exactly. And in I kind of broke that rule and sent the whole squad in. Right,
I watched that and you went, you're taking a chance, and it paid off. You get so it's like but I think that's the problem with it because for people that weren't in the military, they didn't know how the hierarchy worked and how you split things down.
Right.
And I think that's been
Like
addressed.
when I was trying to figure out what first sergeant did, I was like, "What the frick?"
He does
am I
nothing
supposed to
until you
do
need
with
him to
first
do something.
sergeant?
He does
What the hell is
nothing
he
until you
even
need
there
him.
for?
And it makes perfect sense that when all your other guys are green, he's the veteran. He's the guy that's been there all the time.
The sergeant is the man you rely on. And he gets on the Jeep and goes, I'm going to sort these bloody guys out. And he goes up there and says, right, bloody hell, do this.
I'm giving him, well, in my redo, I gave him the forward observer for the artillery, right? I sent that guy with him because I want him to go out there and help direct that fire. We got pinned in this farmhouse, so it's causing us some order issues. But yeah, it's just a lot of what I figured out was the more you play, of course, the better you get. But you have to go back and check rules all the time when you're first playing to make sure you're not missing anything.
Rules within rules. That's the thing I think with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail.
It's brilliant. It's a fantastic game.
He said
it's
a teaching game, and it really is, right? You learn from it. I played it. If I played this same mission again the third time, I'm using field phones next time with wire because I need that communication.
You need, and people go straight away to the radios.
Yeah, I did.
But the thing is, you know what they're talking about. You're in the services, and you still make mistakes like we all do.
Yeah,
but it's a brilliant game. I think.
Yeah,
it's as I say in my unboxing for Fields of Fire 2. It's one of my favorite games, even though I play it really rubbish. I just love the concept of it. It's.
You'd have two games to play if you knew how to counterclip.
Shut up. I did put a call out in the video. You'll see that if anybody from GNT is watching and takes pity on me, they'll send me a new set of counters so I can clip them properly and do the game justice.
Don't worry, they'll send you counters with the wrong backs.
No, stop it. No, that's why I'm going to play it with those stop signs I've got because I do love it. Fields of Fire.
You do that, and I am going to post comment after comment after comment.
I do sound it. I'm going to get grief. But Fields of Fire 2, the Vietnam one, it's like, what's these cards about? What's all this? It's like buildings and courtyards and things. I can't wait.
It's Way. That's right. It's Way. Oh, I love battling in Way. Yeah. Yeah. When Mitch and I would go between World War II and Vietnam, we were basically going between Kharkov and Way. I know. And Way, because we like to go, those are like the two best maps. So it's like literally the entire city of Way. And yeah, it's interesting. I was calling it Hugh for a while, and then I ended up getting corrected. And then I read Mark Bowden's Way 1968 book.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I get told off about this all the time. I get Chris. You know Chris?
Yeah, Ridley. Yeah.
If you want to pronounce this Russian word properly, but you think, thanks. I think he's taking a mick.
Oh, he is.
I know he is. I love it.
He gets any chance Chris gets to take a mick out of you, he's going.
I know he's brilliant, but yeah, the problem is, of course, we don't say these words very often, and we come across these unfamiliar places, and we say it like it says, and it's not always the way. But yeah, Fields of Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great game, and I find myself reading. I read quite a bit too, so I find myself reading a lot of books on some of the games that I'm playing. Right now, I'm reading the Pacific Crucible. So it's this really detailed account of the Pacific War, starting from. There's 3 books in it. The first one covers 41 and 42, and that's the one I'm in right now. But, I find myself reading those histories. When I was playing Tiger Leader, I read a lot of – I kind of tend to pick up an infantry level book or something like that, when I was doing Interceptor Ace and some of these other ones. I was reading a lot of the World War II.
When you finished, I'll ask you a question. Go on.
No, so that's what I pick up a lot of books that I read on these subjects, and games teach you history too. The games the games aren't designed to mimic history exactly, or it wouldn't be any fun because we could all read the history book and know what to do. But it does teach you historical facts a lot of times in these games. There's a lot of things in Fleet Commander Nimitz. I learned about the Pacific and where exactly were those islands. I've read about all these battles. Where are they? And how do they link up? And those are things that I find to make games interesting too.
But I'm playing great battles of the American Civil War, and as an Englishman, it's like, yeah, okay. But but I've got interested in it to watch a few documentaries and things. Yeah. But when I'm playing it with Tweez, and I've probably done something that never happened because he's gone, I've just gone for it, yeah. And but that's the beauty of war games, yeah.
Exactly.
And you know how it went, but you think, you know what, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to bring this round. And that's the brilliant.
And it doesn't always work.
I know it doesn't always work.
I've got plenty of examples of doing something different and it doesn't work.
Right. But it might this time.
Did you actually finally get a turn against the Boo Tweezers?
I did, and it was great.
It's
I did
3 episodes in, and you still hadn't taken a turn. So,
but when I did, it was beautiful. But what I wanted to ask Dave was, like Interceptor Ace and the other ones by Greg, there's a lot of errata. Have the new versions sorted that out? Have you sorted out the errata? Because I quite like to have a go at those.
Oh, I think the
maps were wrong. The plane maps were wrong and things like that.
With the version of Interceptor Ace I have, everything seems to be correct on them.
No,
and I was even on Board Game Geek. I even printed off and did the Spitfire Ace. The guy that's developing that, he got with Greg and said, "Hey, what if I do this?" And he actually put it out on BGG, and I printed it off and had all the playing cards and everything else. But the interesting thing that he had that I liked was, in Greg's game, you use the cards for your fire, and that's what I used in my video. But this guy actually has a dice table that I really I like it better because I think you get more of a chance of things happening with the dice roll, right?
Like cards, I like dice. He doesn't like dice, but you know what I mean.
I like cards. I like cards.
Yeah. But that's what Greg is a great supporter of people bringing out other stuff for his games.
Yeah.
And the Hunters, the next time I play it, I might play the British version of it that's been brought out.
What? Wait! What?
Yeah, the British version.
Did the British have a submarine?
Where you're playing British submarines. Yeah.
They only had one, didn't they?
Bye.
I didn't even
You wait. And there's also a Russian one. So that's what's brilliant about it. He says, "Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, don't miss it, but do it." Yeah, I might do that. Nobody's done that yet. However, now I've said it, somebody's bound to do it. But
Dave's like, okay, let me write that down so I can get in before break.
Yeah, I'm gonna break out Silent Hunters now.
I've got to play Silent Hunters yet, so might just do that just because it's.
I do want to play that because I would actually the game mats and everything, but again on BGG I found a guy that did a great layout of that mat, and then I sent it.
Oh yeah, with the big old thing.
I've got it
and got a vinyl mat made of it.
God.
and it is cool looking, right? It's got the submarine on it and everything, and then you don't need all the cards all over the place. He puts everything together on this one board.
I printed that thing out too. I just have not done any. I've even got. So I didn't get a vinyl. I just printed it on one of our poster printers at school.
You
and then
printed it at school, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And then I laminated it at school.
I laminated it.
Yeah, tax dollars going to use,
folks.
Tax dollars going to
tax
use
dollars at work.
But yeah, no, I've wanted to use that and play it because it's all right there.
Really,
yeah, and it's got that World War II look to it.
Yes,
it's got that feel. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah. That was one of those ones. I'm like, I'm going to try if this works. I'm going to try the poster printer out. This is a test. To see how the poster printer works. Oh, great! Right. It works great. How does it work with the laminator? Does the laminator work really well? Oh, good! It worked great. Okay, good. Now I feel comfortable. I can do it.
An email to your school.
That was my previous school, so we're all good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what this it's called. I think it might be called. There's loads of stuff that this chap has brought out.
For what?
Hunters.
Oh, for
You've got the Soviet Black Sea Fleet module. You've got the Hunter's Milk Cow. You've got the Hunter's Ghost Pack. I think that might be it. So, yeah, I'm going to have a look through those. And if I do the Hunters next time, I'm going to get the old printer going. And
I'm actually looking at like a new printer. Ours is starting to act funny.
Bring that up because I watched just a few minutes of a documentary at lunch at work the other day about at work, yeah.
All right.
And about U-864.
Mm-hmm.
And it for those of you who don't know, it was the first and only time that two submerged submarines engaged in combat, and U-864 was sunk by a British sub.
I've heard nasty things about the British Navy. Like they are hardcore. Like nasty meaning like they're hardcore. They're just like you don't want to mess with them.
You better believe it.
Damn limeys.
The senior service.
Yeah. The limeys.
And lets you throw their tea overboard.
That was all pre-planned. Believe me.
Yeah. Are we throwing some conspiracy theories out there, Ruff?
Just for whatever.
Hey, we were British at that point. We threw our own tea over, basically.
And because we run out of money, the king went, "Oh, sod it, let them have it." You know.
That's right.
In France, your mortal enemies of French.
We have been with. I'm afraid to say, and I love the French, and I love French food. I love I'm drinking French wine, but we have been at war with the French more times than anybody in the universe. Yeah, I don't know what, but there we are. Rum ration, yes.
Yes, I could use that at school some days.
So you're currently playing, Dave. What are you currently playing?
Currently, I have Until the Bitter End, and then I'm going to probably finish this one up tonight or tomorrow, and then I also I want to jump. I have the expansion for the U.S. Airborne, but I think I'm going to jump over that, and I have his tank battles, and I want to see how that plays. Yeah, from Matt. I want to see how the tank battles plays. And then, of course, once he sends out the link.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to beat you to it.
Yeah, you better hurry.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
People get a bit doobry about it, but, it's like this one. There's loads of people doing it.
Sure.
But we're all doing it differently. So it doesn't matter. So
and just like when I did RAF, for the Battle of Britain, it's not like I was the first guy to do it. I'm probably one of the last guys. But sometimes some of these older, I know you did. I watched your
great game. No, it's a great game.
Dave, did
But-
you win it?
I won mine
Oh, okay.
on the short mission. I won that one.
Ruff,
I
did you
don't
win
think
yours? Enough said. Go ahead.
But those videos, some of the videos I look back and they're several years old now. And so to put out a fresh one doesn't hurt anything, right?
No.
It's a fresh perspective of it. And I get a lot of comments that are like, man, I'm glad you played that. Or I get somebody that says, I've got that game. I'm going to get it out and play it.
Yeah, and that's great, isn't it? When they go,
Yeah,
oh, it's been sitting on the shelf. I haven't played it for ages. I'm going to play it again. You go,
Yeah,
that's why I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
We're
got
8 subscribers so far, Dave. You can pay us later.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave, have you got many games on the shelf that you haven't played? You want to get them out? You like me? I've got tons of stuff.
No. No, I'm getting thin now. I've got.
How is that possible?
Order some stuff now.
I've been trying to get these two to curve their purchasing for a long time.
But I've got Warfighter, World War II, and Warfighter Pacific.
Great.
And I've got the Foot Locker, and it's probably 2/3 full.
No, mine's full. I'll get it out one day. And this other, as I said earlier, this other box, it's just a rabbit hole.
And I did the Kickstarter for the expansion decks. So I'm hoping they'll come out here end of October, early November. I also did their Kickstarter for Spruance Leader. So
That looks good. Dean, the guy that did B-17 leader.
yeah, so Dean Brown.
I could have to contact them.
Yeah.
What did you think about Nimitz?
What did I think about it?
Yeah.
Well,
I got the Kickstarter edition with all the expansions and the fucked up cards. So I haven't gotten it on the table yet. But I heard there's so many errata problems with that game, and I'm like, I got the hassle.
I found a guy on eBay that was selling it, right?
Yeah,
And
that's probably me.
He had the 3rd edition rules in there.
Oh.
And so Andy had all the Kickstarter or all the expansion packs in there. So when I did my video, I did it using everything. And I know I read a lot of guys on BGG that go, yeah, it's too much. It's that. But for me, just learning the game, I learned it with all the expansions there. But it is a tough, that 1942, I think if I would have gotten past 1942, I think it gets easier then because your forces start to get better. You've held the islands that you need to hold to get out of 1942. But man, the Japanese they're aggressive and they're coming at you and it makes it for a tough game. And you're trying to figure out, should I attack his carriers or do I need to attack that landing force to keep them off the island? And so where are you using your planes at? And so it is a tough game. That 1942 is a tough part of that campaign. I think it gets easier as you go along, but you got to get out of that first year.
Right. I think that
the first 3 turns, you're all right. Have you tried any of David Thompson's games? Shut up.
No.
Try them. Pavlov's House, Castle.
Yeah. No, I have not.
Castle Itter is the one that I want.
If you want frustration,
but I can't find it.
If you want frustration and kicking the cat, get David Thompson's games. Yeah, they're brilliant. They're a different thing to the leader games because he's designed it and written the rule book, and he's been in charge of it.
Okay.
They are great games. Get those. Have a go at those.
One of the games on my site, I was play testing for a guy that was that Aces of Valor, which is a World War I game that he's going to have that published through Legion Games. So I happened to stumble onto him on BGG, and he said he was looking for an extra play tester. So I volunteered to him, and we did that one on using a Vassal module. So I have several videos there from the Vassal version of it. I
hope Legion starts putting out more stuff. I've been waiting on a game that they've had for that is supposed to be out for the last 2 years, and it's still not out. So I hope they get something going there.
Yeah, it takes a while. He's finally got enough of the pre-sales for that one now.
Yeah, we gotta get you some more views, man.
Yeah.
We gotta get you some views. You got some great stuff.
Yep.
You know.
Did you see that? He had the red, white, and blue racing.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, that's
I'm a NASCAR guy, and I like the stock car, and I can get that game out and run a race or a couple races, like, you know, in a matter of a couple hours and keep going. So yeah, I really like that game. It was fun.
Play.com has some easy games to
Yeah.
play that. Yeah, I've got a couple of their games. I have their golf, their baseball, and their football. So
History Maker Golf. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah,
I got their football game, second season football.
Yeah, I saw you got that. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, that's pretty sweet. So
yeah.
Can we talk about what you were talking about, Tony, on your live stream about focusing on maybe one series?
Are we getting serious now?
Yeah,
I just want to.
So I had been realizing that a lot of times with YouTubers, and my big thing is I'm always going from one game to the next game to the next game.
As we all are.
Yeah, and a lot of us, and I really don't know if I get to really learn the game well enough to actually like understand a lot of the nuances of the game or to really feel it. But I also don't want to play the same battle over and over and over and over again. That's where I'm like going, okay, so where can I go with that? What can I do to get deeper into the games, but not have to play the same damn battle all over again? Because you can do different ways. So that's when I kind of threw that out yesterday. And my whole idea is if you get a series game, and the one that I'm working on right now is Great Battles of the American Civil War, GBACW. Because, I have Death Valley, I have Gringos, which is the Mexican-American War.
Oh, it's hard to get that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have all the expansions for it too. I have 2 other games as well. Plenty of scenarios in those games, so I could really once I get the base rules down, I could really get into the rules on those. Plus, they've got 2 or 3 more games that they're on their way out. I know it's Stigler's favorite ACW game.
Yeah.
He's done some stuff on it.
He's the man for that.
Yeah. But it's like I feel like if I can focus on that and then still do some of the one-off games, you still kind of have to do that because some of those games are fun as well. But like some of the games that I feel like you could really get into or really enjoy, if you keep going from game to game to game to game, it's not going to be you're not going to enjoy it as much. I mean, the nice thing about, let's say, the leader series. So I have IAF, Hornet Leader, Phantom Leader, all the leaders basically. They're basically kind of the same game. I mean, there is some differences in them, and they are a little entertaining in some ways. The Phantom Leader has the political chain tracking it. IAF has there's something for the invasion of Israel. So it's yeah, no, that is the Field Commander series. I haven't talked about that.
Ignore.
But I feel like if we're able to actually get into the series, I think one is we might be able to enjoy the games more because we're actually learning the rules deeper. So, and the example that I have is I played Next War and I played all of the standard scenarios in India, Pakistan. And by the time I had played all those scenarios, I really understood the standard rules. I enjoyed it. I was having fun because I felt like I got it. I understood it. I didn't have to worry about the rules lookup so much. And then like seeing Dave do, hey, I messed so much up on this one, I'm going to start over again and do it again. And then you had made a comment that kind of rung with me is like, hey, I'm going to stick with this until I get it.
Right.
Because I think once you get a game really well, you can enjoy it even better. Not like you can't enjoy it for one play, but I think that.
I get that. But is this for videoing or just for personal what's name?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Because the problem is, and I get you, and my game is Next War, I think, which tickles me great nuts.
Mm-hmm.
there, because
Is
it's
your wife under your chair again?
she did crawl down earlier, like she did before, to ask me something. I said, "What bloody hell she want anyway?" But yeah, he's not met the wife. Next war for me is your GBO, Great Battles of American Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm worried about, if you do 27 videos, and people do,
Yeah.
Are you doing it for your own edification? Are you doing it for subscribers? Are you doing it to do this? This is the problem, isn't it? Depends where you sit. For me, next war, that's why I've got these. And as you said quite rightly, it might get a bit too muddled with all the stuff. No, I love it. So it's that for me is going to be that, and I might plop in. What I want is to have that set up so I can play it for my own benefit. When I go, yeah, I'm going to video this, but I'm also videoing something else over here.
Yeah,
which will be that. That's what I want to do, and that made me think. There's lots of what ifs, 1985, 87 stuff, and I love that as well. But this stuff, the next war, is what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Next week. So yeah. I love that. The only problem is it does get dated. So it might be what happened in 2019 because Next War Poland, for instance, since that's been published, the Poles have brought out a new sort of regiment that wasn't included in Next War Poland.
There's an expansion coming out for Next War Poland.
To deal with the things that might happen. So if they're on top of, if Mitch is on top of that,
he is, yeah.
With new weapons and new regiments and things like that, then that's going to be my. When
you go through the supplements, they actually have updated a lot of times air counters, because of that types of things.
And that's great.
So what I was thinking is and this is my thought process, and whether it's right or wrong or indifferent, it is what it is.
It's right in your mind.
Is to do the Great Battles of the American Civil War, but slip in do like one battle and then do like an easier, not as high level, like solo game. That's solitaire. Only just to give a little different, because, and I mean, I'm luckily enough, I have two tables. I can go like Dave, I can go back and forth. I can, do one here.
I can fit 2 games on that.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking, if I can have, say, Next War set up and I can play that all the time and then video something here and then, I'm ready. I'm going to video Next War and plop that in. I think with things like Great Battles of the American Civil War, I am enjoying it, but it's going to be one of the ploppy in ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I've ordered the expansions and things. So
I don't care about the English Civil War. That doesn't mean anything to me. So,
just to me, I'm waiting for it. It doesn't mean anything. Good grief! It changed our democracy, right? So, Next War for me. Great Battles of the American Civil War for you. What about you, Dave? You got a game that you will concentrate on, and then plopping other things in, and then video the one you really love.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on what gets released that I have coming up. But kind of like I did with combat, I put that on the table. I played all the tutorial scenarios. There's 4. I think there was 4 of them. I played through them before I ever videoed anything. I know a lot of the videos that I watched, they were of the first tutorial, right? Well, I don't want to do that one, so I waited to get to the mission. So that way I had some playtime under my belt. So when I went in there, my mistakes were a lot less, or they were kind of dumb mistakes where I forgot to follow my sequence of play, right? But when I got done with that video, I kept it on the table, like you said, for probably 3 months, still playing it because that was one that I was really enjoying.
That's your game. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And B-17 leaders one I want to break back out again because I got the expansion pack and I finally got the
You got the great, yeah.
I got the city maps and all that stuff from
Yeah,
them.
I get. Yeah, I'm like, seriously.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So what do? You've got to pick one you concentrate on, and that's for me is Next War. For you, it's Great Battles of the American Civil War.
Yep.
But we still want to play these other games. So
Right.
you can only pick one, can't you? Only pick one that you concentrate on
Yeah.
until next week when something else comes out.
Exactly. Not Jester. Jester.
I can't. Yeah. There's too much going on up here to focus in on one little thing. So I got many different things that I need to take care of. So too many different little hobbies going on. And this week, like my videos were a painting video. I did a sports game video. And I did an unboxing video. What else did I do? It was like I was all over the place, right?
I tell you what, Chester. 2 months ago, talking about painting, you went, no! I said, do you prime them? No! Do you do this? No! Now look at him. He's got a wet palette rather. He's got an airbrush. He's doing painting videos. So that's how this hobby takes you in different directions, yeah? So I'm quite pleased. I do smile, but I'm quite pleased that you've now gone in a completely different direction. And that's pleasing to you. And that's the main thing.
We'll see.
He's priming his models. When I said prime your models, get out of here.
I just look at what I just got these in the mail today. I got
What you got? What's that? Eyedroppers.
It's liquid ink. My ink. I got.
He's going bonkers, isn't he? He's going all the shades and inks and.
I got it all coming, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But if you look back to 2 months and now, it's completely different, and that's the beauty of this hobby is that you do get shifted all the time, and that's what I love about it.
Like you said, Rob. Like you said, this is what we're going to focus on this week until something new catches our interest.
Yeah. And I know painting's not for you, Tony, but he's obviously gone, and it's great. It's great that that makes his day. And
I don't need another hobby where I got to go spend a whole bunch of money again. I have one hobby.
But it's the same hobby, Tony.
What happened to your sports channel, Tony?
Yeah, that was one of those things. I don't know. I got to get back to it though because I've got a lot of stuff I want to do.
Right.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
great fillers. So I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, right.
But substitute, say, a baseball game for your war game, right?
Mm.
So, like, if you're going to do a season replay, that's 162 games, right? You got to replay, and so you get like 5 or 6 games in, and you're really excited about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I need to take a break and go try something else.
So do you do 162 with one team, or are you doing the whole league?
I do just one team.
One team,
yeah. But I do multiple seasons for each different teams for each season. Like 2016 is the Cleveland Indians, 2011 is St. Louis Cardinals, so stuff like that. So, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because it is fun getting into the process of I'm learning this game, I'm playing it. I got 10 games and now I can play it really good and I don't have to look at the rules all the time.
Right.
Getting to do that in a war game is much more complex than, doing it with a sports game. But I think Tony's on the, the right track. It would be a lot more enjoyable and a lot funner if you didn't have to worry about the rules because you knew the rules and you didn't have to worry about all of the extra stuff and you could just focus in on what you were playing and enjoying and playing it.
Yeah. And I think that I had a guy comment, I don't see how you can keep all those rules in your head like that. But fortunately for me, most of the games that I've been playing haven't been new to me. You know, I'm kind of, because I'm new and I'm playing a lot of games that I've got on the shelf. And so, you know, I haven't had a lot of brand new games that I had to learn all the rules on right away. So, you know, it has helped me that I've already played those games, some of them quite a bit before I've actually, you know, gone to film them. So, you know, it's hard when you're going from one game to another, though, and you got to figure out how to play that thing in a week or something.
I'm laughing because that's not how it works over here at the Rough household. We get a box out, we go, all right, okay. But yeah, it's good if that's why I want to focus on a game like Tony, so I can get to the bones of it. And people that are into it, Next War or Great Battles of the American Civil War, can enjoy, you know, and
Right.
you're doing it for them rather than to get, you know, big hits.
I want to get to
Chester, no, I've got to ask Chester, and this is said with love. Are you going to do a war game in the future? Because I want to watch a war game that you do. I know you've got your designer stuff going on. I know you've got lots of stuff, but we are the war room.
We are.
And I just
You might have to kick me off the show.
I'm not. It's love.
No.
It's said with love. I just want to know, have you got anything planned in a war gamey sort of thing? That's all. That's all. If you haven't, fine. I still love you.
It is hard for me. Here's the problem I run into with war games. You know, I have very limited space. So it's either move it from here over to the couch over here and set it on the couch out of the way, or get it done in one go. War games,
Or use
I
Vassal.
can't really do, or use Vassal, correct.
Yeah, Vassal. I'm not a fan. I know Stig will hate
The only problem is with Vassal or anything like that is it's just so much better to have the stuff in your hands, whether it's
I get it.
the cards, whatever, having it in your hand.
Actually rolling dice, you know,
rolling the dice and all that. It's just, it's so much easier. So it's hard for me to get war games on here when I got like literally, I mean, if I showed you my desk right now, I got paint bottles, I got my
you've got
everywhere.
bonkers.
And you know, I've got to move all that stuff out of the way just to have the show. And that's a lot easier to move than like a war game, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard unless I get a short war game in. And that's why tactical games are great, because normally you play a scenario, it's an hour or two and you're done.
Right.
And I tried, but I can't do it playing solo because my brain is like, oh, I know what you're doing there, dude. You can't fool me.
But you have to sort of go, I know what you're doing, but you're performing. But I know what you're saying about that. I love it. I love painting. I haven't painted for weeks, and I love it. I love it. I get what you're going for. I love the game. You'll love Shadows of Brimstone. And but I just wondered. That's all, and it doesn't matter. Just asking as a mate, you know.
I actually was sitting here the other day looking at my Warfighter box, because I've got the big box like you, Ruff.
Get
I
it.
was like,
Get it out.
I should
See
get it out.
that you could do in an hour.
Yeah,
That
right.
you can do in an hour or two.
You know, you could do that.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm thinking, shall I get one of those packs out that I kickstarted, the sort of contained packs?
I would love to see that. I would love to, just to see how it works out. I've got them too, but I'd like to see it worked out.
You can't win. It's like Rommel. You can't win. But yeah. Oh, shut it. Get a bit of Warfighter out. It's nonsense. What's that? Is that the one I played?
Yeah.
You enjoy that.
Yeah, I have to punch it. I haven't even punched it yet.
You've got a few counters that are wrong, but you look through that and you know what it says.
I don't know if they are, because this is like version 17.
Well, check my playthrough.
Yeah, I will.
Seriously, after that, it's a great fun game. I really enjoyed it. And it's a game because I had to play it and put it away. I think, you know what, I'd like to play that through and, you know, play it a couple of times and just try different tactics and things like that.
So you all have 2 desks and 2 tables and everything that you can
Yeah,
play. And I'm
revision 8.
limited, very limited.
I'm lucky. I'm not as lucky as these guys, but I'm lucky, and you haven't got it, Jester. I know. But I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wondered. That was all.
Yeah,
No,
my counters are revision 8.
I don't know what mine was. They might be fine. They might be fine, but just check my place.
Well, that's typical lock and load, though. They don't know how to spell their own company name, so
don't start on lock and load. I'll send the boys round.
Hey, don't ask David. He'll be the first one to tell you that they're horrible on what's the phrase?
Punctuation and spelling.
Punctuation, spelling.
What they should do is send it to me.
Right.
I am a
They
grammar
should.
police.
They
I'm
should.
grammar police. Grammar police.
They have to hire a professional to come in and fix
No,
all
I'm
their
quite
errors.
cheap. I'm quite cheap. I work for Seed.
Right.
I'll wait.
So what's coming up this week, boys? I know Tony's off next week,
Oh, wait.
and then don't forget October
We've
23rd.
Yeah,
We're gonna have the big wife episode,
I'm not looking forward to that.
and then October 30th, we've got who lined up already?
Mitch Land.
Mitch Land is coming in October 30th.
I'm gonna bend his ears about next war. He's gonna hate the fact that he's come on. Oh God, he's just so rough to stop it.
Okay. I've watched the play tests of Next War with Mitch there. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say that'll annoy him. Trust me.
This is the new one in a hot and dusty place.
No, the one that I was watching was Poland when it came out. I was
'Cause
watching that.
Because I want. Yeah, that's on P500. That's nearly there. I don't know when it's going to get there. I want that and Taiwan.
Yeah.
I want them all. That's going to be my tomorrow. Oh my God, World War III's broken out. That's my. But I love World at War. I love Sixth Fleet. I love all that sort of what if stuff. But oh my God, get under the couch is
It's Next War, yeah.
War, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite series, Dave? You like the Leader series?
I have a lot of the Leader series. I like it. I know there is some familiarity with, going from one game to another in that, which helps sometimes. I went from Phantom Leader to Corsair Leader to Zero Leader. But the nice thing is, we went from missile combat back to guns combat in Corsair Leader. And now in Zero Leader, they've given you a little bit of maneuverability and armor in the aircraft. So it increases a little bit more of the realism without making it a great big production, right?
I'm going to have to contact and see if I can get that, because you've all got that, haven't you? It looks,
I've got it. I got the expansions for Zero Leader too.
I'll say, I'll do a playthrough.
What do the back of the cards look like?
Oh, I don't care.
And even going to tank, like Sherman Leader and Tiger Leader, it's still that familiarity of you have the 6 cards for the leader and what levels they're going to be in.
Ranking them up and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's all that works for me. And I think probably because I started with Phantom Leader, that's why when I did my video, it was a lot of fun going back
I want that one.
Yeah, it's fun because you're still doing the missile combat, but you got a lot of the ground. You're doing a lot of ground attack and everything there. So, and the B-17 Leader, that's a blast too, because it's still that Leader series, right? You're still got the same.
But it's completely different, isn't it?
You got to think in that game because you got to balance bombing aircraft factories versus what your goals are and your secondary missions are, and you got to figure out how to balance all that.
What's cool, you can incorporate that combat system from the Leader series into it as well, make it a massive game.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun, and I did a Chuck asked me on Zero Leader I did they made that, so he wrote the rules so you could have 2 players, one being Corsair Leader, one being Zero Leader.
Oh, right. Yes.
And so I did an example of that play, how it works, right? I just did here's how the designer set this up. This is kind of how it works, and kind of did a demonstration of that one, or I called it a teaching play or something like that. So, but I really enjoy that Leader series.
They're great to get out when you don't have to think too much and you just want a bit of fun. Warfighter, the Leader series.
Yep. And you get hooked with your guys. You're trying to get them promoted. You want their experience to go up. You're trying to keep them alive.
I've had 4 guys going towards an objective in Warfighter, and one's got killed, and I've gone off and just punched or just walked into the kitchen going, gee, but no.
Yeah.
He's gone. So yeah, but isn't that what it's all about? Yeah.
It is.
It's just daft.
Have you ever played, what is it called? Enemy Ardennes?
Oh, enemy action.
Yeah.
I've got the Kharkov. It's supposed to come in October. So it's a solo game by Butterfield. So
Butterfield.
I haven't played that, but I've seen it.
But it's expensive.
That's
and I want
isn't
it. Oh God.
There is some 2-player on it. You can do kind of multiple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, with the enemy action Ardennes, you can be solo US, solo Germans, or 2-player.
2-player, yeah.
Yeah. So they actually give you all the. Now I don't know about Kharkov because that's the one I have. Lord knows we don't need another Bulge game.
Really, there aren't many about.
No, not at all. Not at all.
East Front games? No, not many.
No East Front. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I'm
yeah.
going with Kharkov. Is there's not enough, Yeah, but I did want to go with enemy action Ardennes Kharkov because it's not a Bulge game. Not that I have any problems with Bulge games. It's just I don't know. Being American, you hear about it enough, and it's kind of like,
I don't care. It's a JP game, but it's so expensive.
Have you played any of the what are they called? The beach landing games.
D-Day.
D-Day games. Have you ever played any of these solo D-Day games there, Dave?
Colorblind.
No, I haven't.
They're great.
D-Day at Omaha okay.
Don't video them if you're colorblind.
Yeah, I saw your playthrough on that.
It's a great game, and I got so frustrated because you're concentrating on the colors, and I had all the cards printed out with different colors, but it was just doing my head in. It's a great game. I played it subsequently on my own. It's a great game, but I don't have to worry about, do I do this right? Have I got the color right?
Yeah, I think you would like those. Don't get the Iwo Jima. That one's not Butterfield, and there's some real issues. But Omaha,
I want to get Omaha.
Peleliu, and Tarawa.
Didn't like it, but I want to get Omaha just cause, to get the completion. But
yeah,
I'd play that on my own. I wouldn't video that because I'd kick the
It
table.
doesn't seem like a lot of work.
It is.
A lot
You're not
of
going
work.
to do it. You're not going to.
A lot of work because
That's the point. That's the point.
You got to worry about every single one of your counters. Every turn.
That's
Oh
the
my
point.
God. I know. All right, well, we're going to have to wrap things up here shortly, guys. So I appreciate everyone coming on. I appreciate Dave's Gaming Cave. If you have not subscribed yet, this is your last chance. If you do not subscribe today, you will be banned from the show.
He's had a couple of subscribers since we,
we've got them.
Up to 265.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did we lose him?
Looks like it.
We lost him.
Excellent. Right, let's talk about him now.
Oh, no, he's back.
Oh, damn.
Here I am talking about Dave's Gaming Cave, and then I hit the wrong button. So hopefully we got you some good subscribers. We'll get you some.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun. This is a hobby that I really like, and probably in some phase of my life, as far back as I can remember, been playing games. So it's something that I enjoy. I like talking about, like talking with other people about it. So I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Isn't the community great, though?
It is.
Generally speaking, there's always, but generally speaking, you guys are great, and I'm so pleased to meet, other new people. I've watched your channel. Now I've met you, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was tickled when I sent you that message that time and said, "Hey, you inspired me to the YouTube channel, and I've been watching your channel."
Yeah, and that's like, oh God, that's why I do it. Yeah, and
That's the guy you were talking about. Oh,
yes.
That's not what you were saying about him before.
Some idiot has decided to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And it's because of me, and it's like, oh, you don't know what you let.
And then Ruff's like, they're gonna take views away from me.
No, they're not.
He's like, I'm telling him all the wrong things to do. I hope he's following my.
He doesn't know what he's got himself into. Good grief! But yeah, well done, mate.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Ruff, Tony, you got 1 minute each. What's coming up this week? Anything? Are you going to
Case Green and more ATSFV material, the robot going up there. So that's what I've got.
All right, have a good week off. Ruff, what about you? What do you got?
I've got my last GMT sale thing coming. Also, I've just been charged for 2 more games.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I got.
Oh, yeah. But I've got Normandy and MBT.
Yep, MBT and then the 2 tank duels.
Yeah, I couldn't afford them. I couldn't. Maybe Mike will send them to me. I don't know. But yeah, the other thing is I'm hoping to get another part of this. I know it's going on. People are enjoying it. It is a long game. Each turn, I think Kev, he did a little thing on it, and he was saying that it's a long term. But the thing is, as the activations go down, you get less chance to do stuff. So you've got to be a bit sort of careful of what things you pick. So I'm really enjoying this. And then hopefully after that, over there, I've got Storm Above the Reich.
Ooh, I'll be interested to see that one.
Yeah,
that's another series, Dave, that I'd recommend.
I think I'm going to start that just about the week before Ruff does.
And the other thing is, if you're on Consim World, if you would come along and follow me on Consim World, I'll leave a link on the chat there. Just come along and follow me. That would be great, because that makes me more visible to people and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
So I've left the link there.
Anything else?
Oh, tomorrow, if I'm not too ill, we are continuing our great battles of the American Civil War with the Tweez, Blue Tweezers. I've attacked. There's some stuff that Stig has said because I've attacked. It's a weird thing with the great battles of the American Civil War. When you attack, you get disrupted. So I think we've got to sort that out. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. So tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow at what is it? It's going to be 8 p.m. British Summer Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. When does your daylight time go back to norm?
First week of November.
Yeah.
Oh, ours goes back at the end of October. So that's what caught us out last time. Do you remember?
Yep. I remember that was the week the adjuster was out. It was
your time. You had your time. Thank you, Dave, for coming out. We do appreciate it very much. It's good meeting you. Maybe we'll get together again sometime. You're always welcome back. All right. You got our email. So just email us if you need anything. Everyone else, I hope everyone has a great week. Keep wargaming, and we'll see you guys next week Tony free next week. It'll be a great week. Everyone have a good week. We'll see you next week. Take
All
care.
right. Thanks, everybody.